Hello, it's a pleasure to have all of you back in the studio with us in the series entitled The Law of Karma, Destiny and Choice. We are now going to look at the personal subject of one's talents, one's gifts and one's karma. Hello, Sister Denise, welcome back.
Hello, Magla, thank you.
Almost everyone on planet Earth is born with gifts and talents, whether one realizes it or not. How can one ascertain what your own gifts and talents are? And I'm referring to those individuals who throughout childhood weren't necessarily made aware of their gifts, or whose gifts and talents were ignored or suppressed or even ridiculed.
Well, this is the problem, because the child always considers that the elder knows best, and if he doesn't, he's told to consider it like that. If you are ridiculed for something, you will assume that your talent is ridiculous and you will not hold it in high esteem. You will also think it's ridiculous, so you will never cultivate it, and you will feel rather embarrassed that you're that much ridiculous. So it's very, very toxic child rearing, which is damaging like anything. You may be told you may be highly intelligent, extraordinarily intelligent, so different from the other people that you'll be told you're really a stupid person. And you will question. You had the feeling, I think I understand everything pretty well, but everyone, including parents, teachers, neighbors, school, they all treat you as if you're slow and stupid. Then you're going to doubt your internal perception. And if this is kept up throughout your school years, and plus you are chastened for many things quite harshly, you're definitely going to think that you don't have any value, and you would probably wish you were never born, and so on and so forth, and you just feel that you're a liability. And you can never, say in a job interview, you can never, market yourself. That's completely impossible, because you know that it would be a lie. It wouldn't be a lie, but you have been indoctrinated that you are stupid and untalented, and that this is the problem, you see. So this is traumatic. And the person doesn't even quite realize that something bad has been done to them. And maybe it may take decades and decades before they realize that there's so much evidence that they have a lot of talent, that these messages that are still coming even after so many decades is actually jealousy, or people who are afraid of how good you are, something like that. But then still, it'll be hard to believe, because basically a person like this believes that people don't lie, at least not en masse, and not all of them lying to me and not to each other. That they can never really quite accept that, you see. So this is a big problem for someone who is really gifted and talented, and there's been psychological research on this. The Drama of the Gifted Child is one quite famous book by Melanie Beattie. If you suspect that you are very gifted and talented, and you have been put down a great deal, that means you have to heal from it. So you have to go through all that work to come out of it. And if you can do that, that is very fortunate. And this is why I also think that your spiritual work and your psychological work also needs to run parallel. This is a very good thing, which is not generally thought of, but I think this needs to come onto the mainstream,
I'm wondering, if you have a natural gift, and say you were fortunate enough to have it acknowledged and nurtured at a young age, and as one enters adulthood, is there a duty on an individual who has a special gift to share it with the world? I'm thinking of someone as talented as Itzhak Perlman, the violinist.
Sure.
Yeah, whose music is breathtakingly beautiful. Does one have a choice as to whether to share that with the world, or, can I have a big beautiful gift, but I'll, only play the violin within the four walls of my own home?
Now, I think it works slightly differently. On the one hand, when you have a gift, the gift itself wants to come out. You are the vehicle of the gift. There's that side.
You are the vehicle of the gift. I've never heard it put that way before. So that's such an unusual take.
Yeah, I think it's like that because the gift is so much greater than you, and it needs to go out there. So you're the chariot. Okay, sit down. I'm driving. The gift will say. So there's that. But on the other side, yes, the gift is, you're a trustee of the gift. And so you cannot say to yourself, I am the owner of this gift. You have been gifted with this gift, and therefore you are responsible to let it go where it needs to go, which is it has to be there for the benefit of the world. So in both cases, you're the vehicle of the gift.
One has to... So are you saying yes?
I'm saying the gift will get itself out there, and you have to be in service of the gift.
In service of the gift.
You know what the problem is? If somebody has a really great gift and you are in service to the gift and you bring it out there, people will accuse you, oh, you're so ambitious, oh, you're so this, oh, you're so that. And unless the vehicle of the gift is pretty confident, maybe sometimes they even need to have a little bit of ego of the gift in order to get rid of that other end of things, so that the gift can come out, because otherwise it can be prevented by jealous people. Then there's another problem. I recently saw the biopic of Ray Charles. He had incredible voice, but he made himself a drug addict, and he had all kinds of personal character problems, and that compromised the gift. So I think if you have a great gift, you really need to think deeply about being in service to the gift, because the gift, if you say this gift is given to me by God, so God is great, the gift is great, and I'm responsible to get the gift where it has to go. And so in a way that's a kind of leadership, that's a kind of public service. You have to be in service of that gift, and you cannot just be selfish about it, or you cannot allow yourself to be weak.
There are so many adults who use the phrase, I haven't found myself yet, who are still unaware of what their gifts and talents is or are, who make numerous career changes, who approach this line of study, change it, try something else, change that, try something else. There are people who leave the country that they're born into, go to another one, leave that, go to another one. How does one discover, I don't know if that's the right word, establish where your speciality lies?
Yeah, it's about discerning what your purpose is, I think. Because your purpose is connected with your gift.
Is that so? I would like more on that, but what I want to know first is, many people have a gift and a speciality which they exhibit in a form of a hobby, and then I have to have a day job because this is how I need to earn my income. Few get to live like Stevie Wonder or Ed Sheeran and use their gift and make money from it. So your gift and your purpose.
Well, you're talking about hobbies. So if somebody's hobby is so developed and so excellent that you can make money doing that, then working and doing what you like best to do is the same thing, and then money comes. So it's like almost it's free money because you don't feel you have to work for it. So that's one thing. I think people who are very, very talented artists, if they have a very good financial manager, or they themselves know how to manage their finances, that's very good, but that's a different gift. So you need two gifts in order to live very well by it. The difficulty, if you're a great artist, you also have a very big spectrum between the agony and the ecstasy, and sometimes that is so difficult to manage that it compromises your gift. So that's a cross you have to bear. Among great artists, there's also this. You have a great gift, it may lie dormant for a long time, and it may be that it requires a substantial life experience before it can come into its own. So maybe you're a late bloomer, they call it late bloomer. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're a writer or I don't know, some other thing. Just when it comes out after a lot of life experience, that life experience combined with the talent is exactly what the world needs. So then it becomes your purpose to gain the life experience and then offer your gift to the world. And it may be like that. So I think it's going to vary from situation to situation. But the main thing is, where did you get your gift in the first place? A lot of people, they say, I was gifted it from God, because how did you get this talent and the other one didn't? You can't explain it any other way than, okay, it's a gift from God. Okay, if God gave me a gift and I don't use it, I'll lose it. You know, there's this expression, use it or you lose it. I think that applies to your gift as well. You need to understand that it's not up to you. The gift is greater than you, and you need to be the vehicle of the gift, and then the gift can carry itself out into the world and you can experience success. But your success also means you have to be successful at being a bearer of the gift. You have to protect the gift, nurture the gift, and look after yourself behind it. So I think along with that special gift, you need a bunch of other gifts or talents which you have to acquire and develop in order to really carry it forward well. And I think also it's very important to not say this is mine and I can do with it what I want, because then you are justified in keeping your light under a bushel or whatever. Eventually you can't, because it's not right. Or maybe you don't understand your gift, or maybe it's not coming out right, or maybe, you know, what happens for a lot of people, a life is set out for them from their birth by their culture, their family, and you will do this at this age and this at that age, and it never gives the possibility of that there's a gift or that you could do anything with it. But no, this is the track of your life and this is how you will do, and if you try to deviate, that's punishable. And so very often people get punished for their gifts, and then they have to hide it, kind of squirrel it away until it's better times where it can emerge in a good way. So there are so many different elements that come in. Sometimes it's very easy, sometimes very difficult. If you are a great artist, you need a patron. So you need somebody with money to give you contracts and this and that and the other. So there's business involved in that. You may have mental health problems and be a great artist. This is very difficult. Sometimes somebody who's autistic has great talent but autistic, and then you can't. Sometimes you have very, very promising career and cut down by an accident, quadriplegic. Something like this happens. So you just never know. But I think the good attitude to have is, I am the trustee of this gift and I am the server of this gift, because the gift is greater than me and it belongs to God, it comes from God, and it is for some divine purpose, and I just carry it along. If you do that, then, you know, your gift can take you to the great heights. And also you can go from those great heights to low depths. And if you always know that you are not your gift, you'll be protected from that roller coaster of heavy-duty success. Because you also find people who have great gifts and they can't manage it because they don't have the strength of character to go up to those heights, and they fall apart. Suicide, something like this.
So we've talked about gifts and talents. Tell us how the law of karma comes into operation as far as one's gifts and talents are concerned.
You know, one thing a lot of people don't know, and that is when somebody is a child prodigy, and that child can recite all the scriptures or compose symphonies at 3 years old or something. What will be said in terms of the laws of karma is that this person will have cultivated that talent over an entire life or several lives, and then they'll be born, and the fruit of that work comes, that it is there. You just automatically have that ability and you don't know where it came from. So you call it a gift, but in fact you will have been developing it over 1 or 2 or 3 lives prior to that, but you don't remember. In that sense, your gift is the fruit of your work, your karma, your study, your development of your potential.
So your gifts and your specialities and your talents are all karmically related.
I think we'd have to say they are, yes.
How does that expression go? Greatness is 5% inspiration and 95% perspiration. You know those adages?
Yeah.
There are people who are born with gifts, but a lot of effort needs to go into expressing it.
I lived for many years in Hollywood, not in acting.
Right, yeah, I'm just gonna...
teaching meditation.
Gonna be my next question. I mean, where's the movie? Yeah.
No, but I don't know how it happened, but it did. And in Hollywood, regarding the film industry, they say for talent, it's 5% talent and 95% hard work.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a very important point, because you may have an aptitude, but if you don't cultivate it and develop it in a very disciplined and rigorous way, it won't reach those heights, except of course in the case of the prodigy. I'm not familiar enough with the life track of prodigies, but I think that they do need to keep working at it in their life. So yeah, you have a seed. You can say your gift is a seed. You have to nurture it, water it, cultivate it, and then you get a beautiful tree with plenty of fruit.
Does one's talents come from God?
You're an immortal soul.
Yeah.
You have a relationship with God. God is the bestower. You will attribute it to God. And sometimes God will say, I gave you so much this and so much that and so much of the other, and what did you do with it? So I think the key thing is, whether it's in you or it comes from God or whatever, but you get given something, and your duty to that thing is to cultivate it. Because it's not that everybody is born with super talents, but everybody has something. As you grow up, you play in certain ways, and that will indicate where your interests are. So the elders around you, parents, teachers, will see, you know, this one likes doing this, so they will support that if they can. And then that child is encouraged to develop their capacities, and then it becomes the foundation of their life. And this is a very good fortune when you have the gift and you have the support and the discipline and the encouragement to cultivate it, and it reaches fruition. This is a successful life. You've done what you had to do.
We cannot end this episode without talking about our non-friend ego. There are unfortunately far too many examples of people who have wonderful gifts, but who are very arrogant about those gifts and talents, whether it be sport or music or acting or anything. How does ego come into play? Well, actually, how ego comes into play is pretty obvious. I've got a gift. Wow, I've got the gift. But how can one ensure, Sister Denise, that ego doesn't take over? Because when you have a gift that makes you big, okay, and everyone's definition of big is different, how does one make sure that ego doesn't just destroy it?
It's quite a difficult question to answer, but I think the practice, in terms of spirituality, the practice is to always assign your success to God.
That is beautiful. Assign your success to God. Oh, nice. Very nice.
And this is also going to protect you from ego. You're going to just be a normal person that you are, and you're in service to that gift. And the gift, you also assign the gift to God. And then you won't get corrupted by it. So I think ego is in a way getting corrupted by success.
Yeah.
Because you take it for yourself. And it's better to wait. Sometimes it is said that this is unripe fruit, and if you eat unripe fruit, it'll make you sick. But if if you're successful and you just keep plowing that success into the future and assigning it to God and sharing it with others and acknowledging and recognizing that your success is not all by you, you have so many people who helped you. You're a recording artist, but what about the people in the studio? What about the managers? What about the financiers? All these other people, without them, where's your success? It's not there. So you have to acknowledge their part in it.
Okay.
If you think, I'm the great footballer, but what about your coach? What about all the help you had all your life that brought you to that point? Don't forget that.
There's something that you mentioned earlier in today's episode caught my attention. You said that you are you implied by what you said that you and the gift are not one and the same thing.
Yeah.
And there are many who do not say, I play the piano. The words are, I am a pianist.
That's right.
I am a surgeon. I am a fill in the blank. We take our gift and speciality and fuse it with our identity. And you get a lot of people who do this as far as their vocations are concerned. It's one of the most common things. So part of the reason why we do it is because your gift and speciality is very personal. It's very personal. It could also be your source of income. Many have that experience. So how does one ensure to keep oneself spiritually safe, that you separate yourself from your gift?
Well, I think you put it very well. You say, okay, what am I? I'm a soul, I play piano. I'm a soul, I write. I'm a soul, I sing. What I do is not what I am. In spiritual consciousness, you hear it all the time, and you have to repeat it to yourself all the time. I am a pure, peaceful, powerful, loveful, blissful being of light. And then I come into a body and I do something. But what I do can never be what I am, because what you are is perpetual and what you do is temporary. Even if you say, I am a surgeon, it's only while you're chopping people's bodies up. When you're at home having Christmas with your children, you're not a surgeon, you're a father. So your role and yourself, your identity, I think ego is to think I am my role. Some people call it role consciousness, but it's actually false ego.
On that note, we say goodbye to you until the next time, and until the next time to you as well at home. Talents, gifts, specialities, whatever you may call them, We all have them. I hope that you have taken the time and put in the energy into cultivating yours. And I also hope that you are able to understand that you are not your gift. It's something that you just have. And I hope that you find some fulfillment and joy in using your gifts for yourself as well as the world. Take care. Goodbye.